Well, I don't know. Depends how you define all time, but no big deal. I think it's good to cycle turn one in case you hit grief. Did I win some IPA tourneys? I came in second in the Team Pro Tour, Rochester Draft IPA, and I was doing most of the drafting for my team. I think maybe my first limited GP was also IPA, and I think I made top 32 despite getting a game loss for not registering my deck fast enough. I timed out deck registration, true story. So I think I started it was a game loss. I don't know, who knows? My memory's so bad, maybe I'm just fabricating stuff. But I think I don't think I'd ever registered a draft deck, and my, let's say my methodology was not very good, and I probably could have sequenced my deck building better. Alright, not very often do you force a discard spell, but here, obviously, seems good. I might not cycle main. Cycle main phase, I can hit a grief. But not cycling main phase is better if they have another discard spell, because then they have a discard spell and they take my agent, then I want to be digging to another cascade spell and hope to draw the third land. Whereas if they don't, I just want to dig to my third land. Obviously, if I draw a third land, it'd be kind of nice. Okay, it's decent. Good to see what's going on. Tar fire. Let's see. They put Thoughtseize in their graveyard? What the hell? Okay. It's either very good for me or very bad. Kroxa's kind of a pain, actually. Wait, do they even care about living in? They have a Death Shadow in there, a Street Wraith. Kroxa comes back. I have Curators. I guess a Waker will be good enough, but Our game would be silver if that kept Thoughtseize on top. Alright, they drew. Wait, did they draw lands? That's what they had, right? Oh, no, that Verdant Catacomb. Gonna take 9. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, they don't have to exile any creature. OP deck. I mean, they're playing John Shadow. I don't see anything. I mean, Become Immense is not super stock, but kind of cool. Probably a one of. Become Immense and Crocs in the same deck is a little greedy, I guess. Oh, hey Valuvizier, you want me to call your deck trash? No problem. Green light. I haven't played an Asmo deck ever or in a very long time. I mean, it's kind of the OG versions, right? What do you get? You get Bone Shards. That's kind of new, or not a card people used to play a ton. You get Urza Saga. I have no idea, honestly. Boseiju works with Asmo. Yeah, and it's a legend too. Not bad. Hmm. Do I need the extra cards? Croxa, I take free. I do to 7. I take free from Croxa on to. Oh no, I discard the Waker. Stay at 7. They get back Street Wraith and Death Shadow. Huge Death Shadow. I get back. They're at 8. Yeah, I don't need to get fancy or anything. Good thing I mulligan and bottom that living end. I drew the next two. Do I want to force some negation? Oh, they had 2 Street Wraith? Oh, I'm blind? Okay, cool. Gonna bottom that. 2 lands. Just give them a bubble, I guess. Actually, bubble lets them, can I control Z? Wow. Bubble lets them Croxa again. Oh, that was a mistake. I guess I have to fetch. So they go down to 7. And then I just have 7 in the air with Curator and Street Wraith, so it's not that big of a deal. You know it's not tier 1. I mean, I don't remember exactly. These decks used to be pretty good against creature decks, right? I've never played that deck. You should. I don't know if you ever watch his stream, but Doomwake might be able to tell you more. What about Trail of Crumbs? Is Trail of Crumbs not worth it? "15 sources of green on turn 1. And as many black. I guess you can't really do much better. Finale, yeah, Finale gets the Asmo for 2 mana. That's why they play it. Alright. Okay, definitely a leyline matchup. What do I need to be worried about? Spell bombs, discard spell, fast clock, just big creatures in general. I think neither Grief nor Force of Negation are super great in this matchup. Seems like Endurance should be good. You're not playing Urza Saga, right? So maybe bring in both Endurance. I don't need to... But Seiju's kind of okay, just killing a spell bomb. And I guess I can board out the basic force in this matchup. Subtlety, I'm not a fan of. Foundation Breaker, I'm not sure I need. So I want to mix up Grief and Force of Negation. I think Grief is just better, just because it comes back for Living End. Subtlety for their Endurance. Oh, they don't have Lurrus anymore. They get to play on Endurance. I do have the 2 ley lines and the Griefs. I could hedge with some. I think I'd rather have Grief against Endurance than Subtlety. But yeah, maybe that's a reason to have all the Griefs. I'll do that. Unclear they have Endurance. They might have Spellbomb. Also, Leyline Steps, Endurance. I have a cycling card. I have my own Endurance, which is pretty good in this matchup. I have a hand that's somewhat resilient to discard spells. It's not the worst. I think I'll keep. Before Grief, you could auto-mulligan almost any non-perfect living in hand. But with Grief, it's kind of okay to keep. And even if you just look at the 6-card hand, it's pretty good. I think I'm going to try to start the stream early tonight. I believe the MTG Arena announcement is at, I want to say 9:30 my time, if anyone can confirm. So might go live and watch that for the first part of the stream. And then play some alchemy. Should I cycle now? Probably. When are the alchemy changes live? I believe in a few hours. Could be wrong. Maybe in about 4 or 5 hours. Is this a Sui announcement? I mean, I don't know who, if it's Sui making the announcement, but that's announcement you're talking about is in 2 weeks. Organized play announcement. Tonight is talking about arena economy. Any predictions? Downpour says my prediction: they either make gems cheaper or nothing happens. Do I have an out? I have one Boseiju. Okay. Good beats. They know about my endurance in hand. I have Spellbomb and Void Mirror. I might just bring back in Force of Negation. Oof. That's a problem with bringing card like Endurance. It does a little, but it's like not. I don't know. It's not. It's usually not enough. I wonder why they didn't attack with Death Shadow. Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping for some kind of dusting system, right? Something. I think that's what most people are hoping for. Some kind of like ways to recycle like extra rares and stuff. You have to be a little careful. It's unfortunate. That +1/+0 could have been okay at some point. I might be able to just two-shot them with Curator of Mysteries. But they're winning the race right now. No, I guess I can double block Tarmogoyf. Or double block Death Shadow, right? Just have to hope. Their last card in hand sucks. I don't know why they didn't stack the Spellbomb and on my turn. Like, what are they scared of? They already have a Void Mirror, and I won't have a graveyard anyways. Unless their hand is good. Unless they have, like, a really... And even then, I don't know. Why, they have something? Teamer Battle Rage. Wait, does that... Yeah, I was gonna say, does that do anything? It absolutely does. Alright, playing Battle Rage and +6/+6. I need Sky Turtle. I guess I should have Cycle Wake Crab Waves, maybe. Alright. Alright, let's forget about Endurance. Let's do Grief and Force and Foundation Breaker. Maybe just all Foundation Breakers. Me, Sky Turtle's gotta go. Sky Turtle's good against discard spells, though. Void Mirror is very good against the Cascade decks, yeah. Especially good if you don't have Urza Saga in your deck. And people might not bring in a ton of artifact hate against you. Like what happened this game, I just was like, okay, they're probably gonna have like some spell bombs. I don't want to bring in Foundation Breaker just for spell bomb, and then they played Void Mirror, and I had one card in my deck to get rid of it. To be fair, I should be a bit worried between Void Mirror, Leyline of the Voids. There's like a bunch of cards people can have now. Probably don't want to overdo any one of them. 2 Foundation Breaker, 2 Force some Negation. Maybe just 2 Grief. Alright, I guess it's time to start cutting some of the cycling cards. Mirror seems worse than Chalice even with Bubble. Mirror versus... Yeah, I mean, Void Mirror helps a bit against Tron, I guess, even though it's not great. Not the worst. Freelance, bit much. Just gotta keep. I'm not gonna cycle turn 1 in case Ellie was a discard spell. Should I fetch Breeding Pool on turn 1 just to thin the deck? Probably. Since I know I'm gonna be most likely playing land. Let's see. What's the damage? Inquisition. Ah, that makes me so happy. And they mulligan too. They don't know, chat. They don't know. I didn't even think about that as a reason to not cycle main phase. Alright. Let's see. I think this is a good spot to cycle main. We get to see 2 cards for Grief. I think maybe I should keep Street Wraith in case they have a spell bomb. Also, this way I stay Inquisition proof. Despair. Alright, so we don't have to worry about Void Mirror or Artifact Hate for now. So there's not much I need to Grief. I guess I should cycle main just in case I draw a Cascade spell. Ooh, that's a nice one. But they're like, it's serious. They like take it seriously. I mean, it's kind of cool, honestly, kind of lucky too. And they're all like pretty nice and reasonable, except for the one old guy who's always trying to squeeze a penny, doesn't really get that's like thousands of euros divided by, hundreds. So it's like pennies or, sometimes you're like, oh, can we do that instead? And he's like, we're literally talking like less than 10 euros per person per year. And it's even worse because one of the things is like, your budget, what the budget's going to be. And not only is it like we're talking a few euros or tens of euros, but it's also money you get back anyways. Like you either overpay a bit first and then get the money back at the end of the year, or you underpay a bit and you owe them. So it's not even like it's almost like irrelevant. It's just yeah, it's something. All right, let's cycle. What they even talk about for 5 hours? Their free food? No, it's just I don't know. Just for instance, yesterday there was one thing that was took like we talked about it for over an hour, and it was about electric parkings. You like having electricity thingies in the parking, and how to install them, and whether or not we should get there's a company that does it and kind of deals. They like overcharge you, but they kind of make it easy on you and deal with everything for you, or you can kind of quote unquote do it yourself, and but it's more complicated and you have to figure out how to like know who owes what for people who charge their card that way. All right, mirror match, give me a second. So I could cast living in, I get a pretty good living in, they get there, but the problem is then they could just go like cycle something end of turn, and then untap and living in back. So so I think a good plan is maybe to just say go, cycle a bit more, and just hardcast Creator of Mystery. I mean, I kind of have the ideal draw for the mirror match. I have a stock graveyard, so they can't living in basically. And then I drew Creator of Mysteries, which is the best card to hardcast. I think I should still keep the Shawless Agent, but I'm not 100% sure. Maybe land's just better at this point. It's another matchup where Sky Turtle. Wait, they're actually casting Living End? Excuse me? Uh, hello? What is actually going on? Alright, why did he cast Living End? Huh. Alright, let's start preparing for the future, I guess. Go like that, maybe? So I can... Yeah, I don't really know why they cast Living End. Think they have Cryptic Command in their deck? 4, 6, they only have 12 damage. They have Outburst, or they're gonna bounce my Waker. %10 of the time it works every time. 10% of the time is correct. Alright, maybe I do want that outburst. Are they just dead? Bounce that, attack with everyone. If they block there, they take 11, so I'm one short, and then I die. I can attack with everyone. They go block, block. I outburst. They take 8, but then their stuff dies, and all of a sudden maybe their living end's a bit better. I could just attack with Riverwinder and play my Curator. It's not too bad. How do we outburst? We have an outburst on top. Do I want to force a trade or offer a trade? Probably fine. I could just cycle Curator and cast Living End again. And then have Trips Curator and Riverwinder against Curator and Riverwinder. And have a Shardless Agent. It's not the worst. I think I'll just cast Curator. I don't know. I don't love it. It's fine. Attacking with the free freeze kind of sketchy. It's not that big of a deal though. Fill up my graveyard, I guess. Oh, sketch. Yeah, attacking with the Architect was just pretty spewy. Can you return your own creatures? Kind of cool. I can bounce my Street Wraith and cycle it. All right. What do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I'm okay. I have a Waker on top too that I can mill. Mirror is weird. Yeah, it's like... It's kind of cool. And weird, but... Once you kind of know what matters, it's a little easier. I think this is a good play. Could have also just tried to outburst actually at the end of their turn. Mine's first, so they get to rearrange anyways. Looks like I have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Looks like I just have more creatures and they're tapped out. I can even bounce Waker. This deck, this movie speaks, this deck is competitive. Yeah, it's tier 1 deck. It's very good, but it's also a lot of fighting for the hate. Alright, I'm assuming if I just do that, bounce Waker should be more than enough. Oh god. And there's pretty much always going to be hate because it's graveyard hate and cards like Chalice and stuff, which are just pretty popular in general. It's not like you're playing a burn deck where you need specific sideboard card or specific hate or anything. Oh, am I... Oh. I just didn't play my land for Outburst. They probably have Force of Negation anyways. think I just messed up. How many living ends have they played? They have one left? Yes, they can just living in right back. Well, that might be really bad for me. Or oh, I have too many flyers. Okay, right. Too many flyers. That was a little loose. Not... For some reason, I thought I had like 2 or 3 extra creatures after bouncing. Cheap side, nah. I mean, there's 4 force of negation, which are really important. You can definitely play the deck without force of negation, but endurance, force of negation. Alright, mirror. Endurance is good. Leyline is good. Boseiju. Subtlety could be okay. How did I sideboard? I think I used to just board out all but one living end. And then the force of negations. I think that's kind of tech, and then bring in dispute maybe. And then I was boarding out some of the cascade stuff. Can probably board out a land. Well, matchup, mirror match. Do I want Foundation Breaker? Do I care about Leyline? A bit. Do we need the Leylines? Yeah, endurance and stuff. Endurance and grief. Think so. Maybe I kept in 2 living ends. Force of negation should be really bad. Force of vigor, foundation breaker. Maybe like 1 foundation breaker. Maybe 2. I think the stock list plays a bunch of ley lines. Maybe I should just not bring in my ley lines because they're gonna be ready for them. Try like that. I wish I had a couple extra cards for the mirror match. Raider is the best creature, but I think I still want to cycle with this hand. I mean, you do need to build up a graveyard so that it can't just living in for too much value. Grief. Grief. I don't think you care that much about griefing them. I was gonna say go. Should have probably just played a fetch. Not a big deal though. I guess I should cycle now. This way they can't just outburst in response to me cycling, in case I draw 1 mana cycling cards. Ooh, Sunken Rune's pretty big. I think Sunken Rune's gonna be good. Griefing. Good subtlety. So if they're griefing now, they're probably gonna cast Living Ends. They're gonna take Outburst, and then Grave's gonna come back, and they're gonna take. This is not great for me, but they do need another black card to like. Oh, they actually bottomed it, yeah. Alright, they decided not to Living End. Oh, wait, they just didn't have it. I just got that drawn. How do I even win? I'm just kind of drawing dead, right? Oh. Maybe it was great if you just keep all the living ends anyways. I think it's better to have like a lot of cycling cards. Do one Foundation Breaker, I also have one Boseiju, one Otawara. Let's get rid of a potential ley line. Alright, a little land heavy, but utility land and endurance. So I have Sky Turtle to get back my endurance potentially. It's nice. Hmm. Kind of interesting. It kind of played a long con and saved them for in response to an endurance or whatnot. Maybe I'll cycle at least one. See if I can draw a second green source. I don't know what to do with all these street wraith. If I should try and save them to kind of get them at some point. We'll see. I'm not in a rush. Don't want to build a bit bigger graveyards. I'll save it for now. I guess I can play Boseiju right in this matchup once they haven't played a ley line. That's Street Wraith. Might be actually pretty sick. They might go for it and not expect it. And I can cycle, draw it, and endurance their face. Plus they have Misty, so they need to put me on literally Street Wraith plus green cards. I'm kind of surprised they didn't just go for it. Like, what's their plan? Hmm. Not sure what I'm supposed to do, how I'm supposed to maneuver at this point. I don't think I can hardcast anything. Don't blink first, yeah. Feels that way. So they have Curator, Subtlety, Street Race to Thanos Rex. And I have no flyers in my graveyards. So if I let endurance resolve, trigger on the stack casts my endurance, they're gonna outburst in response probably. It's kind of good news. Alright, we kind of got them. They messed up. They were doing just fine. They were doing just fine. And they went ahead and got greedy. They scooped. Maybe they went down on living in as well. No, they have the living in. I shuffled back the living in their deck. Alright. Yuri on deck. 4 lands. I do have Force of Negation for turn 3 to Fairy if that's what they're on. And I can hardcast Grief on 4. You can just want to mulligan into some not potential. Wow. Pretty great hand. Def getting rid of the land. I think this would be a good deck for a turn. I think it's like very good. Yeah, it's top tier deck, you know. One of the 10 best decks in Modern, maybe. I would maybe not bring that deck if I expected the field to be a ton of Grixis Shadow. Good Grixis Shadow players. That matchup's really tough. It's winnable, but tough. Depends on the matchup if it's better. Usually you want to cycle to play Grief on turn 1, I would say, more often than not, but against a Yuri deck, I don't expect them to have good turn 1 plays. Maybe Ragavan is a 1-drop I'd be scared of a bit. I could though. I mean, the upside is I'm not showing them what they're up against. Upside of not griefing on turn 1 is they said, lol, sorry, mouse crash. The other upside is that they might play turn 1 abundant growth, and then, you know, I see if I grieve them on turn 2, I see more cards out of their hand. Oh, it looks like they said they F6 for their turn 1 because their mouse crashed, and I'm telling them they can undo it. I guess I'm giving them a chance to like not F6 themselves. Should I click OK? Should I wait? I'm waiting to see if they say something. Wait, what just happened? Okay, they're good. Alright, I'll have to cycle right away. I drew the quote-unquote perfect cards. Spreading Sea's kind of annoying. Solitude's kind of annoying. I'm not gonna take Solitude. Just gonna take Spreading Seas. My two favorite modern decks facing each other. Not like this, chat. Don't do it. Gonna cycle one more. They have Solitudes. They get back a Solitudes. Nah, it's still good enough. Also, it caused them their oh no, they have prismatic ending. I was gonna say it caused them their omnath, but that's not true. Only caused them that stupid ending. Maybe I should have try and done one more round of cycling, honestly. Downside is if I feel like if I don't draw more cycling cards, it's kind of wasted. And also, if they draw to Fairy Time Raveler, I pretty much lose. But the exile ending, yeah. Problem is now. Oh yeah, I guess I do get the Omnath. I was gonna say I might not kill them fast enough, and then Omnath comes into play. The fact that I can also just cast Curator if I draw land is might be good this game. Hopefully, I didn't draw too much action. Okay, I was probably not gonna take that anyways. Probably just gonna take the Omnath. Did you have Yorion? Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna be able to like really kill them fast enough. If I don't draw land next turn, I guess I can rebuild the graveyards. Game might just go on, and then I. Oh no, I'm done. I'm done with living ends, right? That's all my living ends. I was watching your blue-eyed control video. You're playing Waputapa's list. I'm really liking that list as my other modern deck. On Channel Fireball or the Twitch VOD? I think I did one of each. Yeah, I was liking it. I still think Controlled kind of sucks. I mean, I think it's fine, but not great. But I do like the Snapcat, whether it's Blue-Eyed or Esper, like Yendrik plays. I like the Snapcasters a lot. I feel like they're good right now with March and whatnot. Yorion in their hands. Hmm. Could attack with both and cast Chartless Agent. Or I can cycle. Should probably just cycle. Try to draw into some griefs. Does that make sense? Man, this game would be a little easier if I hadn't drawn all my living ends. Could attack and play Charlotte's Agent. Attack for 6. So I'll just cycle, maybe cycle into an on-tap land. Or some negation. Don't think I can afford to keep that. Do I need double green for some reason? The Sky Turtle. Whatever, I'll get Breeding Pool. The beatdowns continue. What makes Control bad currently? The threats are just too good. Chandler, Ragavan, Ren and 6. You're just at a natural disadvantage because you're just reacting to most of what people do. So if you miss a beat, it can be tough.
Would become too much of an intellectual's game. Magnus Carlsen once said that he cannot play living end mirrors for fear of losing to true magicians like
Helena. Thanks for the bits. I should come up with something where you can share speech to text without having to spend bits. Share your genius and inspiration for free. What's the minimum? Oh, nice. What's the? Or I could lower the bits. I think right now it's 100 channel points. Can you do text to speech for channel points? Probably, right? Is mono blue tempo viable in modern? I have no idea. Oh no, they have the fetch land. Oh god. Make us play Yurion. Back up to 12. I was thinking if I could draw a sky turtle, I was fine. But then they just were Omnath. Why did they get Hallowed Fountain though? Or did Windsweep have? No, they still had Basic Island in their deck. Oh, they have Solitude. Okay, and their last card is a Yorion. That's the problem with the Omnath deck. They can just can they just win games like that? Just one Solitude, an Omnath. I mean, they got a little lucky. I don't even win the race, right? Even if I don't know. I think I'm drawing dead. I'm not sure what I'm looking for. What the hell are you looking for? Sorry. I guess I should have gone for a bigger graveyard. I played a little too fast. That sucks. The Virion in hand still right. They did draw Omnath plus Solitude to stay in it. I think I was gonna be able to beat a Yorion. I have Auto War in my deck too. They drew double. Yeah, they drew a second Solitude and a second Omnath after I made them discards. Also don't know Holy Heat for the Grief was decent. They drew exactly 5 lands. Um yeah. A little unlucky for sure. Alright, probably want Subtlety, Dispute. It's gonna be tough. They're gonna have I think most people just play Relic. I think I'm just gonna bring in Boseiju or Basic Forest. And just rely on Force plus Grief to deal with their artifact hate. I'm not gonna bring in Foundation Breaker. And then do I want my own Endurance? Sky Turtle seems kind of bad in this matchup too. And I need to cut one more. Maybe Subtlety on the play. No, I need Subtlety. It's just solid and a little Endurance Insurance. Maybe just one Wake Curve Waves. I think this matchup is probably favored for 4-color Living End. Close to a perfect hand. Honestly, I mean, probably would not. I'm gonna min max and just fetch shock, cycle. I'm gonna grief on turn 1 because of Relic of Progenitus, which is a card some people have in their sideboard. I am gonna take. Gotta take Endurance, right? So I have to worry about Counterspell. It's always funny when people don't know who Counterspell is modern legal. 4 months? Isn't it like almost a year? I'd say closer to a year than 4 months. Yeah, exactly. No one's keeping track of time really. For sure. Yeah, Modern Horizon 2, whenever that was. I'm a little surprised they're not just casting their Spreading Seas, thinking just sitting on Counterspell might be good enough for them. It might be. Especially if they drew it to fairy. Alright, I don't really have a choice. At least I have a 2/2 to attack the fairy if they have counterspell into the fairy. We know they didn't have white cards, so they can't really do the solitude trick. Seems unlikely. Also have to hurry to just cast my living ends because I only have one left actually. If they just drew another counterspell, I probably just lose. I think it's favored for 4-color living end, but there's definitely a few ways where things can go bad for you. I'll explain later. Yeah, the plan is to go live at the same time as an announcement, or the on the Magic channel. They're having a stream about to talk about arena in the economy. So I think the plan is to react to that and then play some alchemy after that with the new cards tonight. See some list was there was a list recently that was playing Verdict too. Verdict would be kind of nasty in this matchup. They're usually kind of all in when you cast Living in this matchup, and if they have the one Verdict, it's probably. I guess you can just cast the second Living in, depends. Alright, I need that Living in to go all the way. The good thing is they actually don't want to endurance me because they're just shuffling back living ends in the deck. I think they should target themselves. No, mistake. Jace, Fury, Solitude. So they're gonna go Jace. I guess I have to take Jace, right? Or as they go Jace. They can block. Do I care about Jace? I mean, if I don't take Solitude, they're just gonna make 2 tokens next turn block, and play Solitude, then play Fury. And then I'll lose. Whereas Jace is their turn. They brainstorm. They at least can't get rid of Waker. I get to one-shot Jace no matter what. I guess I'll take Solitude. I think I'm gonna lose though. I think I'm gonna lose again. I need to draw subtleties and whatnot. It's not I have my living ends back in the deck. I could go just on another cycling spree and cast living end. But it just bounced Waker? Seems pretty bad. Seems pretty poorly played by them again. Oh, I'm dumb. I don't even need to send Street Wraith. Just send Grief. And keep a blocker. I almost had a heart attack. I was like, what? Alright, if I cast Curator, it's just gonna die to Fury. If I don't cast Curator, they're gonna Fury both my 2-drops. Which I think is fine. I just cycle main. They hardcast Fury and kill two of my creatures. Kind of just becomes tempting to cycle again, right? Just find a living end. Also pretty tempting to hardcast one creator and then this way I get the scry trigger every time. I'll cycle one, see what I draw. Not a grief. Alright, let's take a draw step. Maybe I should trade grief for Yurion. What do we know about their hand? Not much, right? Sokenzan? Oh no, they played Sokenzan, meaning they probably have spells in hand because they already had double reds. Yeah. So Kenzan would probably be, yeah, so they've got to have spells in hand. Omnath and Solitude. Wow. Wrecked. You know, I have to take Omnath, right? I mean, they've been drawing so well, it's insane. Kind of nuts. Yeah. I mean, this game should be over. If they hadn't endurance me, game would probably just be over. Let's see if there's any justice. Alright, do I go for it? Or do I... They're bringing back Solitude Omnath. I would be bringing back a lot. We know they probably have another spell in hand. YOLO? Yeah, I think probably a YOLO. Well, at least the living end's gonna be good now if I do draw it. Alright, GG's. A little unlucky. They basically didn't break a single draw step in 2 games. It's kind of hard to win when people draw it all. Okay, hand. I just Sky Turtle. In case they have turned to Blood Moon. Sky Turtle has been... It's been fine. Nothing too special so far. Oh. Hmm. Not too sure if that's the play. Bard, yeah, looks like Bard class, yeah. Is Bard class good in was Bard class just a modern deck all the way, all along? Little did we know. I'd actually drew Bard class too. Am I gonna lose here even if I do a living end? I get to grief them. Might want the fur turtle after playing with it a bit. Really? I haven't found it anything special so far. I've not found it to be all that great. I'll just take the hit, who cares? I also haven't gotten paired against Hammer Time yet, ever since I added the Sky Turtle. I could see Hammer Time, Sky Turtle being especially nice there. Alright, they're hedging their bets a bit. Not dumping their entire hand. Not sure that's the correct strat, honestly. Are you really beating a living end? Probably not. Right, I have two grapes coming back already. So I probably want to just straight trade anyways. Yeah, I mean, I already had two grapes in the graveyard too, right? So it actually makes no sense to hedge and not cast your Rada. Alright, red-green. It's kind of hard to sideboard in the dark with this deck. Seju seems okay. Force of Vigor might be okay. They have Bard class. Or just, I guess Foundation Breaker is pretty good against them. Their deck doesn't do as much. Maybe bring in Subtlety. Force of Negation, prob bad. They could have Veil of Summer after sideboards. This Sky Turtle doesn't even seem like it's that great. I mean, they're a creature deck, but it's kind of bad for me this game. Could maybe have my own endurance in case we get in these weird games. Let's see, could board out a land. Maybe a breeding pool. Making a roast in the pressure cooker. Yum. Like kind of... Oh. Pressure cooker, not slow cooker. What kind of roast? What are you? Yeah. Is it like slow cooked when you do it in the pressure cooker, or is it something different? Or does it cook fast in the pressure cooker? Was subtlety in the last game? Now subtlety is a sideboard card. It was a top run that I got a flash food for $11. Yeah, that's what's nice about slow cookers and whatnot. You just get to. You don't need the best piece of meat. Similar texture to slow cook or sous vide, but much faster was a pressure cooker. Okay. What they get themselves? Wooded Foothills. Well, sounds pretty awesome. Let's get basic island. Let's cycle. I don't think I'm gonna want double grapes. I'm gonna cycle one more time in case I draw a living end. I will grieve them now. Hope not to see anything too nasty. Magus of the Moon and Bard class. Tough. Tough, tough, tough. Gotta take Magus. No, I get to play basic forest next turn. May just take Bard class. It cooks faster and helps keep cuts with less fat and collagen from drying out. Okay. What's the recipe? What are you throwing in there with the roast? Basic forest for the win. I almost clicked OK. That would have been the saddest thing ever. Nice Magus. I think basic 4 is just mandatory right now. There's just so many random Magus of the Moon decks. Or Blood Moon decks. Seared in a pot, put in some carrots, onions, homemade onion soup mix, beef broth. Okay, so kind of like, yeah, kind of a French recipe or just kind of generic. Yeah, it's good. Sounds good. Hmm, making me hungry. What am I making for dinner? Nothing super exciting tonight. Just gonna make some hummus and some yogurt sauce, and then just peel some carrots and falafel. On the healthier side, I guess, tonight. I did have pasta for lunch. Pasta with butter and cream and cheese. Nice. All right, let's grief right away. Oh, it's Bob 49. It's the. I just realized. Hammer time. He beat me yesterday or 2 days ago when I was playing the really bad John deck. Maybe the not terrible John deck, actually. All right, so he has 2 lands. I have a Force of Negation. What do I need to be worried about? I don't care about Reforge Soul, right? Should I just take a land? Or should I take Recross the path? Probably just take Recross. Hmm. What do you think, chat? Taking the red land. But they have all these rituals. Their hand doesn't do anything. Just a bunch of rituals. I mean, they only had 2 lands, so I could have taken the land, but I think they played a decent amount of lands. I'd rather take Recross. Their hand did like absolutely nothing without Recross. Um, So land or ritual is kind of the same thing. They have pack backups. So they have like 1 turn to draw. What about casting that for 5 mana? I mean, I'll just take the land, right? So I think they have 1 draw step to draw. Basically 1 draw step to draw a Charmander, if I'm not mistaken. Could just cast Outburst. So they can't even shock a land in. Not sure it makes a difference, but could have still won if you draw Ironcrack, Fleet Blaster, and into Charmander this turn. Alright, Boseiju seems good. Yes, Leyline's good. I don't even know what I'm supposed to bring in. What's their plan for this matchup? Subtlety is good. I mean, they have Magus of the Moon, right? As this feud's a little narrow. Colossal Turtle can go. Not sure how much hate I want. I can cut maybe Botanical Sanctum or Sunken Runes. Uh, do I need Leyline? I don't think I need Leyline. I don't know. I'm gonna try out Alchemy today. Yeah, tonight my night stream. I'm gonna watch the Magic Channel show where they talk about alchemy changes or arena changes, economy stuff. I think it starts in 4 hours and a half from now, and then after that I'll play some alchemy with the new cards. Leyline is bad if they're ready for it. Yeah, I guess I could go find his list. Bob49 MTGO. See what's in the Belcher sideboard these days. 4 Veil of Summer, 1 Pyromancer Ascension, 1 Magus of the Moon, free Force of Vigor, free Leyline of Sanctity, free Furies. So you might bring in Fury, he's gonna have all the Veils. So I just not want Force and Grief? I think they're probably still good, right? Maybe not as many? Still needs to have like green up at the right time. What are these 4 Foundation Breakers? It's only to get the Charlotte chair. Maybe I don't need 4. Maybe I need like a couple. I guess I won't do a ley line either. Hmm. Kind of like a double mulligan already. Is it not? No. Could just double grief. Seems kind of greedy now. I think it's greedy. Let's grief right away before I get veiled. See what's going on. Double packed, Charwheel Chair, 2 more lands, recross the path. So I gotta take recross, right? I guess that was bad. I should have fetched turn 1. I guess I wasn't sure if I wanted what kind of land I wanted. Guess same deal. I just want to fetch. I just want to fin the deck. Oh wow, he actually drew Blood Moon, and I use Misty instead of Scalding Tarn. Wow, I'm bad. Wow, I am bad. Well, that's one way of punting the game. Wow, what an idiot. Easy clap. Never punished. Wow. Uh, can't believe I almost lost because I played the wrong fetch land. Jesus Christ. All right, not bad. Basic Force was MVP. Aurora we never really drew. Sky Turtle was kind of whatever. What do I want to change? What do I want to change?